What's going on, guys? Good morning. Taking a look at Casper / Tether USD today. It's the 19th of November. Casper been sitting pretty quiet for the past couple days. It looks like the downward move has taken at least a slight pause here. A couple levels to share below the market and a couple levels to share above the market. So zooming in here to the chart, this is a daily chart, by the way. We have it set to auto and log scale on TradingView. On the desktop version, down at the right-hand side, you can barely see it, but down there all the way to the right, it says log and auto. We have it set on that, just so you guys can set up the chart the same way. So current resistance above the market is at 284. That's 0284. That is right here, this line on the chart. You can see the price is having 1, 2. Today will be the third day, unless it breaks above that at some point today, that it's having a hard time getting above that level. So that's something to keep in mind. If we can get above 284, we could be heading up to 310, which is up in here. But until we get above that, that is resistance. That's about an 9% move higher if we get above 284 and can rally up to 310. So that's that level. Below the market, we have two potential areas of support that are new. We have a 0262. That's a 262 level. The price almost got down to that level on the 17th of November. We found support at that level over here in September on the 19th. We also rallied off that level over here on the 9th of September as well. So that level is 0262 is potential support. We also have another new level down there at 0251. That's 251, another area of support back in September on the 7th, as well as the 19th of September, both this year. What I don't like is this looks like it wants to break to the downside, which would take us down to that potential support at 262 or even lower at 251. Both areas could come into play. So unless we can break above the high, this high over here on the 18th of November, which was yesterday, we can get above that relatively soon, then we might be able to avoid that break to the downside, but we'll have to wait. So we'll see what happens. And that would also, if we can break that high on, which was yesterday, the 18th, that high is on my chart. Let's see here, 293. If we can break above that, that also gets us above resistance at 284, potentially up to 310. So that is that. One of the reasons why I think that might break to the downside is, let me go over to a Bitcoin chart. I don't even have one on my watch list. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. Bitcoin USD. We'll go to the Coinbase data. We will close this up. And it looks like my last video is basically what I'm going to talk about right now. So this pennant pattern, this rising wedge here, basically a pennant has a flat top with a rising bottom. They are historically known to break to the downside, which is what this arrow is indicating. So if that takes place, there's a good chance that Casper will do what I said and break down to those lower potential support areas, target areas below the market. Bitcoin, for me, I have a lower target down there at 13,672 even, 13,622, which puts Bitcoin down 19 or so %, give or take, from current resistance. Current resistance right now for Bitcoin is at 16,925. The level on my chart you can see the price is it's wicking above that line. It can't get above it and close, at least not right now. The problem with these patterns is, maybe 80% or higher, they are accurate and they will do what you think, as in for this pattern, this pennant, it will break to the downside. I don't know the exact percentages, but it's pretty high. It's probably up there in the 80s or even higher in the 90s. The rest of that percentage, it will not do that. It will actually do the opposite and break to the upside. So that's always a possibility as well. When everybody sees the same thing on the chart and is expecting the same thing, sometimes the opposite takes place, and that is just trading. So that's my thoughts on that. And that would, if it took place and broke to the downside, there's a good chance Casper would follow suit and head lower down to that potentially 262 or even 251, 248, 246. Those are all ranges I have below the market. So for a percentage from where this resistance is to our lowest level is, let's see, 13 or so percent move. Keeping in mind, if we undercut the major lows on Casper, I have talked about this in other videos, we have some much lower prices down in here. But not going to worry about those unless we start getting lower than our 248 up in here on the chart. But those are active levels if that does take place. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Thanks to all of the new subscribers. We'll see. Looks like the weight of this market is kind of hanging on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin starts to really head lower, then there's a good chance a lot of these cryptos will not be able to buck the trend, and they will also head south. On the good side is you'll get better pricing on your favorite cryptos and stuff like that. So just keep that in the back of your mind, that things could be heading lower from here. Also keep in your mind that there's that small percentage that when everybody sees the same chart pattern, sometimes the opposite takes place, and that is trading. Have a great day, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.